Becky, we really want to paint a clear picture for people of what your process is like. So first off, let's start with who contacts you generally, children or a couple or an individual?
It's a mix of both. It's part of the reason that I work 7 days a week until 8 o'clock at night is because sometimes the people that I work with are employed and they can't work in the middle of the day, or you meet them during their lunch or something. But I work with both. The parents who are looking for themselves, the parents who are looking for a spouse, or the children. And sometimes the children go along because the children are trying to convince them to do something.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's an important point because sometimes people are really proactive with their living and they're just looking for themselves, right? They're still completely independent, but they just want a continuum of care and they want to make that decision for themselves. So sometimes you work with the individual who's actually looking for themselves.
Absolutely. It's a mix of both.
And the best way for people to contact you is your website or your phone?
Yeah, they can reach out through my website, and it's the same as the business name, seniorhomefinderofiowa.com, or they can call me at 515-770-8831. I answer the phone all the time. I even answer spam calls, and I just say, thank you for calling. This is Becky. May I help you?
Just in case it's somebody on the other end who needs some help, because we know this is a big decision as you move to and through retirement. Okay, so let's say I've contacted you and I'm concerned about my loved one, what the next steps for them. So then what do we do?
Then we usually set up a meeting so we can talk to you about their financial situation, their medical needs, and where the family is located. So we can set up tours around that location so that it's easy for people to visit. And we go over what is most important to them, what their hobbies are, what things they like, what are you looking for, so that when we're actually on a tour, we can remind you of the things that were important to you, so you're not overwhelmed by the salespeople of the communities.
Okay, so on the tour, what you help them look for, maybe some of the things that, of course, the person who works there maybe wouldn't point out because they're employed by that company. What kind of things are you guys questions are you asking or looking for, or tips do you have?
Well, it's like activities. What kind of activities do they offer in each community? They all do different things. And how often are those offered? Some do it 7 days a week and in the evenings. Some only do it 5 days a week. What is your need for what you want to do in a social environment? Do you want to be social? Do you want to be isolated in your own room? So it's individual. The whole thing is individual.
So it wouldn't be just a tour of the living room, right? Their room that they might be in. It's basically what is their living experience going to be like, from the activities that they're engaged in, maybe even food?
Yo, absolutely. Food is a big part of it.
Food is a big part of it.
Big part of it.
So you guys sit down and have a little meal and taste
their food. Yeah. You can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a lot of the things that they might enjoy or they might experience in that particular facility. Is that accurate?
Absolutely accurate, because it's what they want, and they're all different. So it's very interesting to look at a bunch of different options.
And so people out there might be wondering, do you work for a specific retirement community, or do you kind of assess all the retirement communities, or who exactly are you essentially paid by, I guess?
Actually, we get paid if they happen to choose a community with whom we're contracted. But it's not about us, it's about them. We include communities we're not contracted with on the tours, and we don't really mention it to our clients. It's not about us, it's about them. And we don't care if we have a contract or not. If they choose one we are contracted with, we get paid.
And you get paid by the facility, not
Yes.
the individual that you're working with.
Correct. We do not charge the individuals we work with at all. And our contract with the communities makes it illegal for the community to pass our fee on to them. So we protect them. We also protect them big time when we go on tours. If they ask them for their phone number or their email, I say, just give them mine. Don't let them bother you. I will keep them updated on what you're choosing and what you're deciding and when you're planning to make the move.
Yeah, that's a nice bonus of your service. Okay, I got an idea about the social aspect of it, but let's go back to the medical for just a minute, because we know that different needs require different levels of care. Is there any misconceptions out there about what certain levels provide, or things that you think are really important people know?
Well, I think sometimes as you make the decision later in your life, you're going to want a continuous care retirement community, a CCRC, so that you don't have to leave, go to a hospital, go to another community, and then come back, so that it's all in the same community. And there is a remarkable change in the assisted living world where they're bringing in physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy into their communities now, so that they are actually more like the CCRC, even though they only offer independent, assisted, and memory care. So it's challenging, but everybody's trying to compete and make it as nice and easy for everyone that lives there as possible.
Now, I know some people are saying, okay, this all sounds good. I understand the advantages of working with you and the advantages of moving through there, but I know somebody out there heard that $10,000 a month, Loren, and they stopped there and said, there's no way. This isn't going to work for me. I'm not going to do that because I just plain won't be able to afford it.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of studies out there. The study that we quote sometimes says you're going to need over $300,000 over the course of your lifetime just for health care, not including accelerated care like some of the care that we're talking about here today. That would be the $10,000 a month. You're looking at all the different income sources that you have, and you're saying, how do I do this? You might have $500,000 in your IRA. You're thinking $10,000 a month for this type of care, $300,000 for the other type of health care. Where's the living expenses going to come from? And this is why we put all of the resources together in your plan to identify. I mean, take Social Security alone. If you add up your monthly payments over the course of your lifetime with Social Security, that could be a 7-figure portfolio. So by maximizing Social Security, maximizing your pension, maximizing your IRAs and 401k plan, part of that maximization strategy is decreasing the overall taxes that you pay when you take money out of your pre-tax accounts. So by really getting the most out of all that you have is one of the ways that you can put into your plan a confidence level of you're going to be able to pay for healthcare, you're going to be able to pay for an accelerated or additional level of care if you need it. And then there's also other protection mechanisms, whether it's long-term care insurance or some other strategies that you can use to offset the type of cost that you might occur as well.
Thank you for watching this clip of Retiring Today, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have questions about your retirement plan, take advantage of the complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup phone call.